That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
We got this right here, man. I tweeted "Free Palestine." Less than 10 minutes later, I got a call from NBA commissioner, agents, people in my foundation, and even folks from Texas telling me to take it down.
Rockets. When you're in the NBA, it's a lot of things that you want to say, that you could say, but you know if you say it, there's gonna be repercussions. You could get in a lot of trouble. For example, a couple years ago when I played for the Houston Rockets, I tweeted "Free Palestine," and I dang near got kicked out the league for it. And I'm like trying to figure out why. You know what I'm saying? I didn't obviously before that the conversation happened with some Palestinians, and they were telling me. I actually went to the movies one day. I was in the movies in Houston. A whole bunch of Palestinians was like, "Hey man, we're big fans of you. Can we watch movies with y'all?" So I'm like, "Cool, man." Yeah. You know, when I was in Houston and Orlando and a lot of cities I played in, I would take fans to movies. I would take them to main event, do big events at David Buster's and stuff like that. So we go to the movies. After the movies, I'm taking pictures with all the, fans and stuff like that. And they asked me to just bring some awareness to their what's going on in their country. So, me having a big heart, I'm like,
the Christian thing to do.
Yes. I'm like, you know what? I want people to know the struggles y'all having. I don't think it's wrong. So I tweet "Free Palestine." Less than 10 minutes after I tweet that, I get a call from the commissioner of the NBA.
Stop it.
Agents, people like working with my foundation at the time, Texas, you got to erase this tweet. You got to take this down. You're going to get it. I'm like, what did I do that was so bad?
Can somebody explain to me?
Yeah, can somebody explain? And it was just like because I went against the grain. I said something that people didn't like. And now.
Not people didn't like, they didn't like.
So now it's like I got to stand on what I believe and how I feel and not go back on it.
Yeah.
And when you're in the league, you be in that place where if I say too much, if I say something, I may not get a job no more.
That's like 70% of people that's out the league that got you.
I gotta hold my tongue, and that's so hard to do when you are faced with so many situations. You have things going on that may be outside the court. You might have situations with your teammates or the team going on, and you can't really speak on. And then I just got to a place where I couldn't trust nothing or nobody. So it's like I'm not gonna say nothing, do nothing. And then that was a problem too, because now other people are speaking for me.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. By the time Dwight got to Atlanta, bro, he was so paranoid, bro. Like covering Dwight his one season in Atlanta, like he was not as open and kind of charismatic as like kind of Dwight Howard used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a different dude at that point of his career. And I don't know, it was kind of weird to see, but it was also kind of sad to see like a man like jaded and go through an entire career of having his words twisted and misconstrued and different quotes and going viral and having a perception around the league to being so secluded and guarded and things of that sort. It was sad seeing, but it was also real, and it was like a good life lesson of like seeing it happen in real time. Of like a guy that I remember being a kid sitting in a room where he's giving us a off the record kind of one-on-one talk to a group of high schoolers and stuff like that, a group of young men, and giving them the real about real life to a guarded and PR protected statement type of guy a few years later. Like it was just weird seeing in real time. Salute to Dwight Howard though, man. Amazing career, great person. And like you said, you might not be Shaq, but Shaq's the most dominant player of all time. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only going to be one most dominant player of all time, unless, we wanted to say like Wilt Chamberlain is more. Wilt Chamberlain might be more dominant than Shaq, but like in terms of like just muscle mass and just powering out people, it's Shaq. So, it's only going to be one of those guys. You might not be that, but you still are you're the greatest center of your era. therefore making you one of the greatest players of all time. I think that's pretty simple. If you're the greatest center of your era for a prolonged time, it wasn't, salute to Marcus Cousins. Respect to Marcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins, everything like that. He was the best center in the league for a couple years. He was not the best center in the league for 5 or more years. Dwight Howard was. So Dwight Howard puts himself now for 5 years of consistent greatness in that all-time discussion. So Dwight's one of the greatest players of all time. Dwight's one of the greatest people to ever be in the league, one of the best stars to happen to be a person or whatever in a long time. And he deserves this first ballot Hall of Fame induction. He just his way was a bit more messier. Everybody's path is different, but when God has something destined for you, it's destined for you, bro. And I think God literally had it destined for Dwight Howard to be the number 1 pick, to be the star that he was, and also teach young kids a lesson of just like, the highs and lows of life and careers and everything like that. It was like with like Zion. I feel like Zion was destined for this. Like his physical abilities are like kind of abnormal and stuff like that. Welcome back, Zion Williamson, to the court, by the way. But the 360 windmill is crazy, and to do that off the muscle, and to do the East Bays and everything like that. Like Zion obviously has a gift, and to see him, go through what he's going through off the court, I think is just a great lesson to all the young kids and stuff like that, of showing them on a big stage like what it looks like if ABC happens, or if you let your flesh take over, or if you let, I'm saying, whatever it is, what I'm saying. So I think everything happens for a reason, and Dwight and Zion are great examples of that. But what I said, what God has for you is for you.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Good question.
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.